Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you are or what time you're listening to the show. Welcome back to the core. I am the Millennial Coach, and I'm so grateful for your time coming back to me and allowing yourself to enjoy part 2 of mindfulness and mental health. How has your week been? Have you started meditating is my question. So part 2 of mindfulness and mental health is upon us, so let's get into it. But before I do, if you've not already, please do follow me on DA, the Millennial Coach, on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook for positive vibes. And if you really want to party with me, I also turn this show into a live event with great music every Thursday on Ep1. So if you hear me talking about musicians, their music and the impact, it's really focused on how they impact the conversation at hand. And because Ep1 is the longest dedicated hip-hop radio station in the UK, it allows me to explore my love for music while giving useful insights into core subjects as a transformational coach. So let's begin part 2 of mindfulness and mental health. Welcome back.
Love is an important aspect of mental health, and I think we underestimate the power of love. Love, remember guys, is patient, it's kind. Love is encompassing, love is accepting. And I think a lot of the times we're not always familiar with how love can make us better people. So when we talk about things like social media, you know, a lot of the mental health issues, you know, what's heartbreaking is hearing that young people are committing suicide. That's really quite heartbreaking when a kid is 9 years old, kills himself or herself because they're bullied because they're gay or transgender. You know, why are we so cruel? Where's the joy or the love in that? You know, love is something that I think we take for granted. And if you think about today, how many people did you tell today that you love them? Because I can guarantee a lot of people listening, unless you say it every day when your loved one leaves the house, you don't say it. But if you don't say it, do you show it? And if you do show it, what do you do to show? You know, I have friends in different parts of the world, and one of the things that we vowed to do is always stay in contact and always be there for each other. It's crazy, you know, and WhatsApp, I want to thank the maker of WhatsApp, it's super cool. With WhatsApp, you can call anywhere in the world, and that's because if you care about someone's mental health, their distance shouldn't make a difference to you. We live in London town, and people can't be bothered to meet each other from north to south or west to east because it's too far. Guys, we've got to start making changes to the way we think and be more mindful about what is good for somebody could be good for you. You might have just needed that chat or that coffee. So think about when you are trying to show love, where we hit, you know, what we'll do for love. Love is not headachy. Love doesn't, how can I say it? Love doesn't make people angry. When you look at someone you love, you should just smile. Obviously, if you got kids and they do your head in, I'm not even going to start getting into that conversation because that's got nothing to do with me. But, you know that you love them. You know, and I think we spend too much time focused on exterior things. We're so focused on, you know, what we look like. It's just, I find it amazing. The girls on Instagram, I really find it amazing where how they dress. To me, that's not a form of self-love. And I don't care what anybody says, and you can come for me because I will come right back at you. But I feel sad because I'm beautiful with my clothes on and off, but for the right person. You need to know that social media is a man-made product. And with man-made things like human beings, we break down. Think about your washing machine, your fridge, your Hoover, your television, your car. Who are they created by? I know there's a lot of AI at the moment creating machines, building machines. But think about the fact that man-made products break down. So it goes for the same when it comes to our mental health. So if you think about, as I said, relationships, I think as well, when we think about relationships, work can be very stressful, very, very stressful. And what I mean by that is people are cruel in the workplace. And I'm going to talk about that for a minute. I worked in a place where, I don't even use this term often, but that woman was evil. Evil. She wasn't a nice person. I mean, you know when someone just makes your life hell just because they're in a certain position and they feel they can. I was in a high position, she was in a higher position. But I'm not competitive like that. Whatever I apply for, if I apply for a job, that's a job I want to do. But what people tend to do, they get intimidated because I've got a lot of degrees, a lot of experience. But does that mean I should be treated horribly because you're insecure? So think about your workplace, guys. Just let's have a little moment now and let's think about the workplace. The workplace is a place where you go and earn money, and you exchange your time. You exchange your time for a skill you have for money. If anyone of you knows I would say spiritual teacher Caroline Myss or Mace, M-Y-S-S, she is somebody that I have utmost respect for because she calls most of us prostitutes. And she doesn't mean prostitutes in the sense of the traditional sense of laying down. We all do something for money, all of us. Whether you're a CEO or you're just an admin person, every single one of us exchanges something to, I don't know if it's make our world a better place, our individual worlds, I mean, or is it really how big our ego is? My mission in life is to help people. I've always been a teacher. I've always been someone people came to for advice. And I thought, you know what? I need to turn this into something I want to do for a living. Am I prostituting myself? Maybe to a degree if I sat in front of Caroline Mace. But you know what? I love what I do. I love what I do. Waking up every morning is not a chore to me. It's actually a privilege. And I look at life as a privilege. The times we're living in, the way society is changing, the way the world is moving so fast. It's a privilege to be here. We're here learning about mental health. What is mental health to you? Because you might have got it wrong for so many years, and you might not even realize that you're actually going through something. Again, if you're going through something, please, guys, if you're at a point where it's too much, please call the Samaritans. Contact IAP to send an email tonight. Don't let this plague you for the rest of your life, because there's a lot to live for. So work, toxicity. So this woman made my life hell. I actually developed glandular fever. That was my immune system was just shot. I was so ill. Couldn't even walk to my front door to get a delivery takeaway. I had my friends come over and bring me vitamins because I don't really take pills. My mind, honestly, you know when you wake up and you just can't even imagine leaving the house and going to work. So you know what I used to do? I used to call them mental health days. I'll phone up sick. Because if I go into when I was working and that one was making my life hell thing, if I go in today, I think someone is going to get hurt. Literally. And that's the thing. People think when people go postal, they're doing it because they hate people. No. This is the thing. If we sat down and please do not think I condone that type of behavior, because I don't. But if you sit down and you actually think to yourself about, and it's a lot to do, a lot happens in the States, and this is something we don't experience in the UK. But when they say somebody went into the workplace and shot 15 people, which is awful and unfortunate, 90% of the time, they're disgruntled, they're upset, they're angry, they're hurt, they're broken. When you're broken, you are responsible for fixing yourself. And this is what people forget. When people give their power away and they start reacting, which is hurting other people, you become more broken. Nothing's solved. You don't feel better when you hurt someone else. Whether when you're in the workplace and you talk badly about someone, or you're trying to get someone demoted, or you're trying to get their job, or you're keeping things away from them, or there's a lot of nastiness in workplaces. And I'm quite privileged that I don't actually work in an office. Well, I do, but different offices, because I have to see different clients. But I don't think I would be able to hack all the politics, because it's all nonsense. It's all unhappy people going into an environment, making everyone else unhappy. So me personally, I think I hold people to task. I actually challenge people. And that's people, whether I work there as, when I go in from a freelance coaching perspective. If I'm not happy with, now in this day and age, if I'm not happy, someone's head will roll. Because one thing we have to also understand is that we are entitled to a peace of mind. Peace of mind is really, really important. And that's one thing, when I meditate, I ask for peace of mind. I don't ask for money and material things. And I work on a lot of different projects. But no, I think asking for peace is so important. Think about it, guys. If you stop praying for things, because you know what? The things that come is temporary satisfaction. When you're at peace with yourself and you make decisions that make you self-full, not selfish, your life will change. And I say this as a testament, because that woman that was honestly just nasty piece of work, she eventually got fired with all her crew who were just as nasty as she was. And I was asked, would you come back and work with us? And I was just thinking, to be quite honest, I've grown. I don't even want to work in an office anymore. It doesn't matter if you're going to pay me 6 figures. I don't want to work in an office anymore. So what's important is to make choices when you are being mindful. Don't just do something because it's based on money. Do something because it's what you choose to do. And because if you did do what you chose to do and it goes wrong, who are you going to blame? Thank you, yourself. So being mindful isn't just about waking up or and thinking, what trainers am I going to wear? Set the tone for the day. Set the tone for the day. Think very carefully about how you choose your energy. Are you upset? Are you dealing with financial issues? And you know what? Sometimes, when there's more months than money. Sometimes you have to say, you know what? I don't really care. I'm just gonna live and just let the universe work, or God, whoever you believe in, let God work on your behalf. And if he truly is a God of substance, you will be delivered from whatever it is that you're dealing with. To those of you that may believe, and if you don't believe in God and you believe in something else, whatever you believe in, and even if it's just yourself, that's okay. There's no judgment on my shows. There's no judgment in my coaching sessions. So I would always say to people, loving yourself is an inside out job. It's facing your demons, acknowledging your faults. Because we are very, very, very good at saying, but Sharon did this, and Peter did this to me, and Frank said that. But why did Sharon do this? And why did Pete do that? And why did Frank say that? Because when people complain about people to me, I'm like, yeah, but what did you do? We got to get to the crux. And that's why the show's called The Core. When I work with people, I get to the nitty gritty. I actually ask people questions when it comes to even their past, their family, their issues with their parents. Because sometimes when you're coaching someone, they want to move forward in their career. It could be business coaching, executive coaching, life coaching. I'm like, something doesn't add up. Because you can sense it. If you are a good coach, and I am actually trained as an executive coach, you will see that there's gaps. But what the goal of the sessions are is for the coachee to reveal to themselves and acknowledge to themselves and discover. I'm there to support you in exploration. But when the light bulb actually goes on, it's a beautiful experience. Beautiful experience. Mental health, when people tell me, I've been working out, and I've stopped dating. And there was a point at one time, as a woman, everyone's like, I can't believe you're single. That's what people say to me. You say, I can't believe you're single. And after a while, mentally, it started to get to me. And then you go on dates and you're thinking, as girls, you know what I'm saying, right? And I don't know what the guys feel, from a mental health perspective. But as women, when your family are pressuring you to get married so you can reproduce a child, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So it started to get to me, and I started to get depressed about it. So when people say, oh, haven't you met anyone? Then I started to react because it was frustrating. Because it's like, life is not always about looking for a man. Not to me anyway. It's an important aspect. And I love being in relationships. I think it's, when you can have fun with your partner and you can be, most importantly, yourself, and the person doesn't have any drama, but they're just about their business, that's the most healthiest way and relationship that I seek. So those of you that are looking outside of yourself, you have to have that calm. You need to get calm within you first before you can actually go out and look for somebody else. And I can tell you now, the reason I didn't get into a relationship, because I could feel my own anxiety about the whole thing. And when you meet a guy, he can sense it too, girls. Don't think that the guy can't feel like this girl's like desperate. Do you get what I'm saying? We get desperate sometimes. But I don't think it's desperation for a boyfriend. I think it's desperation to shut the family up. Because it's annoying. So anyone that is a parent and is listening today, please stop harassing your children to find a partner. It's really annoying. Because in this day and age, personally, I'm done with the internet dating. Everyone just seems not real. Like, they turn up, they say they're 6 foot, and they're 5 foot. So I can't be dealing with all that nonsense. So those of you that, and the thing is, loving yourself is also knowing what you want. So remember, I just said that when I go to the workplace and I'm not happy about something, I hold people to task. Mindfulness. Be about your business. Because ultimately, you are the keeper of your, yourself. You are your own keeper. And even if you are in a relationship, what you need to understand is that you are an individual. You both have individual perspectives and individual lives, but you have a life together as well. Because when you're with your friends, you're a different animal than when you're with your partner. And when you're at work, you're a different animal to when you're with your partner. Because don't forget, the people in work might not, because a lot of people say, you're so strong, but when I'm with my friends, I like to chill. I just like to rest because I like peace. Peace is a gift. And I think a lot of people really, really, really miss that. And I just think if we can look at life as a gift, we wake up tomorrow. When you wake up tomorrow, before you go to bed tonight, I'm going to stress the importance of listening to a guided meditation on YouTube. Honestly, I love YouTube. Honestly, I want to thank YouTube for existing. Just exceptional. What you can find on there. And that's the thing. What the times we're living in and what we have access to is phenomenal. As we continue the conversation on mental health, relationships, workplace, social media, ethnic groups, there's so many different things and so many different ways we can change. Tony Robbins says, if you're going to make a change, you're going to have to operate from a new belief that says life happens not to me, but for me. So remember what I said earlier, in terms of being responsible for yourself and not blaming other people for where you are in life. I think a lot of people misunderstand exactly what's going on around them. And there's a lot, like when you're in the workplace, there's a lot of blame culture. Something that happened, it was like, it was Helen's fault. People need to take accountability. inside and outside of the workplace. So when you go to work tomorrow, you make a mistake. Don't be sitting in the back and acting like it weren't you. You need to stand up and you need to say, you know what? I kind of messed that up. It was me. Put your hand up. I'm not putting my hand up for you, but you need to put your hand up, because people have a lot more respect for you. And to me, that's a stand-up person. Someone that can actually tell the truth, even in the midst of a lot of different people assuming that, that person wasn't honest. Well, you know what? Sometimes you're scared because you don't want to lose your job, and I get that. Okay, but remember, if you don't try, you won't gain. And I'm always one of these people that I really do believe that you should think about being a teacher in your actions. Recently, I was out with a young girl. There was a leaving due for a company I worked with really closely. He's a super cool guy. And he's gone off to the Lake District to work for a magazine. Sounds quite interesting. And he said to me, you know what? It's, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. His wife's an author. She flies in and out of the States. Interesting couple. And so I was there, and I'm there having a laugh with everyone. This girl says to me, someone needs to put me in my place. So again, I was mindful in how I responded. First of all, the reason I was mindful, I had a young lady who respects me. So responding was better than reacting. And thinking of how I'm going to respond was important for me. So I asked her, so what place are you referring to? And then she said it again. You need to be put in your place. So I said to her, there is no place I need to be put. So the young lady said to me, I can't believe how rude she was to you. So I said to her, look, one thing we need to actually be aware of, especially when we're going through mental health challenges, when people are not nice to us, it's not about us, it's about them. That's demonstrating where they are within themselves. So for someone to say to me, completely unprovoked, that I need to be put in my place, I had to school her. And I schooled her offline. I haven't heard from her because she's probably in shock about what I said to her in the most professional and respectful way. If you're going through mental health issues and there's a lot going on and someone literally is about to trigger you, my recommendation is to walk away. Literally. You can't react to everything because you will literally lose your mind. Literally. When things are going on in our lives, a lot of the time we try to help everyone we can help. We try and lend people money. We try and, I'll be there. But you know what? There's sometimes you need to say, you know what? I need to just stay at home today and just take care of myself. Because you know something, my cousin says this to me all the time. She says to me, when you say yes to someone else, you say no to yourself. Think about it, guys. You say no to yourself. Saying no to yourself is a pointless exercise, because you know what? If you're the one who's got to get up and pay the bills, you're the one who's got to take care of your family, why are you saying yes to everybody else and no to yourself? You need your own strength. That's why I always say to people, be mindful. Mindful of the things that you need to do. How important is it for you to go out? How important is it for you to be at the latest book club? Are you doing it because you're trying to prove that you're intelligent? You don't need to prove anything to anybody. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to apologize. And you don't need to justify the decisions that you make that are going to enhance your mental health. Because you know what? I can guarantee you, when you're going through a dark period, the same people that are saying, now let's go out, they're not around. You don't hear from them. Where are they? So you need to think about, you going through tragedy in your life, the people that claim to be your friends, have they even offered to even help you with anything? But think about it. Think about everyone in your life. Write a list of all the people in your life and write a list. By that, remember me, I like my list side by side. Write everyone in your life, everyone in your phone book, and write all the people that you would actually turn to for help. And I can guarantee you the list is going to be about 3 people. But that says a lot about how you view people and how they view you. And what I say to sometimes when people say to me, and people are going through things, they say, this person, they just abandoned me and blah, blah, blah. So my question to a lot of people is this. I might see you as my best friend, but do you see me as your best friend? Because how we see each other is what might be affecting my mental health. You don't realize that. That's why I always check in with people, like, why do you value our friendship? I ask people these questions. Somebody messaged me about 2 weeks ago. We used to live together in a different country. And I had the impression we were like family. And she just said, I stopped contacting her because I just thought this is just too much work. And she said to me, I haven't heard from you. I woke up this morning. I just thought about you. So I just sent a very, very clean response. Look, you seem too busy. I haven't got the time to keep chasing you. That's it, blam. She said, no, I'm so sorry. What I've learned that in London, people don't have... I said, no, people have time. They just choose who they want to spend it with. Big difference. So what I've started to do this year, I've just started taking time to just focus on myself. So the last thing I'm going to leave as we're almost ending today's show, got a few minutes left. It feels like a long time, but I think it'll be up soon. I think the core is here to help as many people as possible and get to penetrate as many people from their head to their toes, inside and out. So as we talk about self-love, how do you show that? Or how do you keep track of where you're at in your life? One of the things is journaling. Now, I used to journal, but I didn't quite understand back in the day, and I didn't quite understand the process. I used to write about all this negative nonsense that was happening. Now when I journal, it's just a gratitude journal. It's just thank you. Thank you to whomever has made my day, week, month, year, moment. I tell you something, if you're going through a tough time, in the evening, not before you go to bed, but when you get home, just write out everything that is bothering you, everything. And before you go to bed, just write what you're grateful for. Even if you're just grateful for, I don't even know, watching Hustler with J-Lo and Cardi B. You're grateful that you and your girls went out to watch that. That's enough to be grateful for. That is enough to be grateful for. Because sometimes we are inspired by people that we can't physically touch and we can't get to see because they're not in the same place as us. So if that's the case, don't give up on yourself. Listen to something that is going to motivate you, motivate your mood, and motivate your mood not just when you're at home, but when you get on the train or the bus or get in the car. Motivate your mood when you get to work. If you don't wear bright colours and you only wear black, make some changes. Black, you know what I get from one of my girlfriends? She says, it's so slimming. Well, you know what? You look depressed. So my advice to you is get some colour in your life, okay? I stopped wearing black in 2010. I remember I went to New York and I said, right, I'm going to Woodbury Common. I'm going to go shopping. I spent obscene amounts of money, but I don't wear black that often. I'm wearing it today because I had a particular environment I was working in, so I chose to wear black today. But on a normal day, I rarely wear black. I wear colours that feed my soul. I choose to be around people that feed my soul. I choose to listen to things that feed my soul. And I'm going to talk about something, reality TV, because we've spoken about social media, and I think there's a lot of great things on social media. I love Twitter. So anyone that, is able to reach out to me on Twitter at the Millennial C, DA for the Millennial C, and I'm the coach. I love Twitter because you can see people's thoughts. But when you start talking about someone farted, I just unfollow you because you know what? It's just nonsense. I think we need to pick who we follow carefully. Be mindful. We need to choose who we want to spend time with. Because as much as it's a gift for you, it's also a gift for the other person. And remember, when you're with people, you might laugh or you might be absorbed by the negativity. It's an exchange of energy, guys. Exchange of energy. That's what relationships are about. So you know when people might say, oh my God, I love that couple. Or, you know, they've been married for 93 years. Well, I don't know how old someone would be to be married for that long. Let me not exaggerate. But, you know, when someone says they've been married for 60 years, I'm always like, what keeps their marriage together? Acceptance. Which I think we fail to do a lot in this country. We fail to accept people for who they are. So when I was told I should be put in my place, that lovely email that I sent that young lady, I told her, I only communicate and hang out with people that respect and accept me. And if that's not you, I'm okay with that. What you need to also remember, guys, not everyone's going to like you. Whether you're at work, you're in a group of new friends, but you know what? Who cares? That's not your problem. That's not your problem. I think a lot of the time we spend so much time looking for approval, and that's where our downfall is. We got to stop defending ourselves. We've got to stop choosing to allow people to put us in a box, put us in a corner. And we've got to stop reacting. If someone says something you don't like and you're in a negative place within yourself, don't kick off, thank them and walk off. Because a lot of the time, when you don't respond how someone expects you to respond, they get nervous. So you see, when anxiety, we spoke about anxiety, that's when the anxiety starts kicking in, but not for you, for the other person. So you got to remember that not a lot of the time, when you start challenging your mental health, you start to uncover a lot of beauty about yourself, a lot of beauty. And I think it's going to be really, really important for you to hold on to that. Because I don't think a lot of people are told that they're loved. I don't think a lot of people love themselves. And I don't think a lot of people do loving things to themselves. So to get a man's attention, for example, you know, you might be wearing a top where your boobs are very, very explicit. And then you get what? 5,000 likes. That's wonderful. But when you go home, are you happy with yourself for real? Because a lot of people, as I say, a lot of people smile. And I just don't buy it. I've had people in sessions crying because I just get to the core. But I do it in a loving way because I believe if you claim to be, you know, there's lots of people that claim to be coaches. I can guarantee you that. And in this industry, a lot of people, yeah, I'm a coach, I'm a business. I'm just like, no, you're not. Sit your ass down. No, you're not. But when you meet someone who actually cares about what they do, eventually they'll care about you. Because it's not always about money when I coach. Well, it's not really about money. You know, yes, it's nice to be paid, but I like to see the development of someone's cognitive behavior. It's beautiful. When people tell me, you know what, since I've been working with you, I feel more confident. I can actually, you know, respond. I had a woman telling me that she was so scared when she got an email from her boss, who was the CEO. She was just frightened. She's the head of HR. We've worked together now for almost a year. She's a completely different person. The confidence has been phenomenal. So self-love is also being open and vulnerable to change. And that is a challenge. And I think a lot more people would rather just not having to face it. You know, change is a challenge. And I think there's so many ways that we can make changes, but we've got to think about which world we're going to rule. Is it the world within us, or is it the world outside of us? And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, because we spend so much time focused on the outside that we forget the inside.
That's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening. I've really enjoyed sharing some thoughts and ideas around mental health and mindfulness today. These are the three main things I want you to think about. A gratitude journal, which allows you to really think about what you're grateful for. If you have time for meditation, that would be amazing. And there's people, including myself, that I need to work on the forgiveness situation. So if you're with me, I think if you could write a list of the people that you want to forgive. A great tool and resource is Radical Forgiveness by Colin Tipping. If you have the opportunity to purchase it and follow through some of the activities, it will really take you on a journey that I think many of us need. An activity that you can build into your week is consider exercising. Whether you walk, you use YouTube to do exercises, you go to gym classes, swimming, you might consider jogging or karate. Exercise is a great activity to get your mind in the right place. And also, if you can consider reducing the amount of processed food that you eat to support your cognitive function, that would be amazing. Last thing is I want you to do right now is reach out to someone you haven't heard from or seen in a while, just to check in and see if they're okay. See if they want to meet for a coffee, or if you're being really generous, take them for lunch. I'll be back next week with another topic, but don't forget you can reach out to me on Twitter at DA the Millennial C, which is the Millennial Coach, or you can reach out to me on Instagram at the Millennial Coach. I'd love to hear from you. You can make sure this podcast arrives automatically on your phone or app each week by hitting the subscribe button. If you're fond of any of the topics discussed in this podcast, or you find them really useful, please share it with a friend to start a conversation today. You never know where it might lead. I'll catch you next time. Have a fab week. Much love.